Goedemiddag.
Good afternoon. I'm at the Viewpoint at the Aula from University Ghent. I'm an ex-alumnus from this university. I studied political and social sciences. That's a while ago. I graduated in 1995-96, but I developed a huge love for this university, and I'm proud to accompany you while we go from here to the big hall in the Volderstraat. So a parade with big speeches, the whole charade. Last year things were different. We all know what the reason was for that. Unfortunately, this year things are possible again, and this year is also we also have a slogan which is yes, no, which is the slogan, the university slogan this year. Yes relates to yes, we'll act like before, we'll do things the way we did. So let's get rid of this COVID-19 animal. No means that we won't do it all. We won't do everything the way it was before. So here and there we'll make adjustments, because Corona taught us that things can be done, can be approached differently, and that sometimes that's even better for both university staff and students. So it's a positive no. That's a new term, a positive no. So we will go full throttle again, yes, but no, we won't do it the way we did. And so this is the opening of the academic year, very important for students, for lecturers and professors, for staff, all those attending. It's a nice official opening of this academic year in this beautiful venue, the Viewpoint, the top level of the Boekentoren, so-called book tower, developed by architect, or designed by architect Rick van de Velde, a real gem. This Viewpoint, from which, as I said, we have a view over the whole city. And Dries Moreels is present here with me today. You're the main librarian. So where are we exactly? This is the Viewpoint. Well, what is its importance? First of all, welcome to the Boekentoren. This is the top floor of a library stacked with books. The whole building was designed as a huge bookshelf, so 20 floors of books, magazines, all dissertations, they're all kept here. So my final dissertation I once wrote decades ago should be here. Yes, indeed. We start stacking again in 2 weeks. In 2014 we completely emptied the tower to do the concrete renovation works. These works are finished, and in 2 weeks we start filling the library again. It's a 3-year operation. So we have books and magazines all over university buildings ready to be transferred here. That's a huge operation, challenge for the coming years. The renovation took years. I think it all started in 2013. No, we started way earlier. 2014 we did initiate the concrete works, but the whole pathway was developed was launched in 2007. We launched an architecture competition to help find the team to renovate this monument designed by Van de Velde. It had been attacked by weather conditions, climate conditions, and so the concrete was corroded. And already in 2007 we launched this operation to completely renovate it. And this includes this top floor, the Viewpoint, a view over the whole city. Van de Velde wanted to build the tower in the highest point of the city, and so a tower of only 464 meters was still taller than the cathedral. That was symbolic to show the position of the University of Ghent. So that also means that part of the students who never knew this book tower. Well, fortunately, every faculty has a faculty library, and they played their role over the past couple of years, and they will continue to do so. But we are quite happy to be up and ready at the kickoff of the academic year. The book tower is ready. You can read, work, or study here. For 6 or 7 years, that was not possible. It's quite a happy occasion. This viewpoint is also in use. It's not purely aesthetical, it's also used. Yes, indeed, we can use it for events, both internal or external events for university. People can rent this space. We also have made an agreement with the city guides. When they guide a group of tourists through the city, they can come here. And so they can take people up here, so they can explain how the city is built, the port, the woods around Ghent, and it gives a complimentary view on the city. And people will also have the impression that they were welcomed by the university. So they're not simply tourists who went to pubs, etc., and restaurants. They were also welcomed by university. You know this space, you know the ins and outs of this space, but what does this space mean to you? Well, when we get here, top floor, people turn silent. Plenty of light, even on gloomy days, there's plenty of light, and there's something magical to it. And that's the master's touch. Architect Van de Velde really enjoyed designing the finest details, types of marble, types of wood, types of carvings. I'm looking at Patrick, the man who's organizing this whole thing today. Let me have a look at the center, city center. And this gives you a nice taste of the things you can see here. It looks as if we are equal, at the same height or even higher than St. Nicholas Church or the cathedral. So this is really the peak of the city where Van de Velde decided to build his tower. Really beautiful. If you've never seen it before, professors, viewers, staff members, I can really recommend it. It's an aesthetical highlight. So we'll go downstairs. There's plenty of stairs. We'll be offline for a few minutes, but we'll broadcast a number of images of campus and university. And the reading hall was also renovated. So we'll see you in a few minutes.
houden, want anders... Zo, we zijn hier, zoals aangekondigd, in de leeszaal van de Boekentoren.
Yeah, we're in the reading hall. You've seen drone images of the site of this aesthetical gem built by Henri van der Velde. We'll give you some images of the different sites of the University of Ghent later on. You see all the professors here in their gown, and they will they will hold a parade along the Vooruit, along the Minaar Theatre. It's not that far, but it will take a while. I think everybody is ready, and including the Dean, Rick van der Wallen. You ready for a new academic year? I'm very much ready. And I think the people here in the Book Tower, the Boekentoren, are ready as well. Plenty of noise here. Professors have put on their gown, very formal. But I can't remember any other occasion where the atmosphere was so joyful. Everybody looked really forward to this, including myself. Last year we also had an opening of the academic year, but it was a small group, online mainly, and now finally we can meet up with many people. Later on we'll go to the Aula, and it will be full. I see joyful people, and it is a very formal phenomenon, this ceremony. Everybody in a gown. Yes, it is a very formal moment. It's also a symbolic moment. Today we show ourselves to society as a whole. We are a university, and I'm a dean with deep roots in this society. We want to stay in touch with this society. And that's typical of me as a dean and my vice dean. So we will walk in our robes to the aula. We break free basically from this book tower. We walk to the aula. We have contact with the outside world, and of course we take ourselves seriously. It's appropriate to wear such a robe. It's festive. We walk through the streets of Ghent, and it's all part of the atmosphere we want to convey today. This here, this white part, what is that? This minx, what is it? It's not mine. It belongs to the dean. So once you become a dean, the former dean, the previous dean, hands his minx over. I'm allowed to wear it with pride and joy for a couple of years, but once my term of office finishes, I'll pass it on to the next dean. It's a symbol. It's part of the office of a dean. It doesn't belong to anybody personally, and it's important to reinstate that and pass it on to the next dean. This is the second year of your term of office, and that's also why it's a special day indeed for Mika and myself. We have the first 4 years finished, so we were re-elected in May. Swiftly and promptly we were re-elected. We were granted a second term of office, which we initiate today. But this year, frankly speaking, this for me is not the kickoff of a second term of office. For me, it's the relaunch of university. As of Monday, we'll welcome tens of thousands of students on the campuses of our university. Our teachers can personally approach the students, direct personal contact, and that's key here today. That's also the reason why there's so much joy here this afternoon. We missed this, and now it's possible again. In a way, more than ever before, we realize how much we missed it more than a few months ago. That's the essence of today. It's not about the second term of office of the dean or the vice dean. Also, yes and no. That seems to be the topic of today and of the whole academic year. What is this yes and no all about? It's about the fact that we'll aim for a balance. Things are possible, things are mandatory, but some things we won't do anymore. I'll give you an example. Teaching, lecturing. Yes, parts of the courses will be taught online. No, not know why this is imposed by some virus, but simply because online teaching in some cases is the best way to lecture. But yes, we are open. Yes, staff are welcome. Yes, students are welcome. Yes, we will try to pick up our university activities in a meaningful way. So that's what yes is all about, with a small positive no next to it. Mr. Dean, you seem eager to kick off the year. Yes, indeed. I was quite eager to launch it, and so did Mika, and I felt as if many people were eager to start all over again. Last year we had to do plenty of things without really wanting to, but now we really are eager to start again, to start doing things because we want to. And let's hope that this positive vibe continues throughout the next couple of months, throughout the whole academic year. So, briefly, a call upon the people: please stay safe. There are not many corona measures applicable still, but please respect those that are applicable and enjoy your freedom, your regained freedom. I'm an ex-student here, I'm an alumnus, and this is really a beautiful, great occasion. This is a sacred space. This is an iconic building for the University of Ghent, for the area around Ghent, for Flanders, Belgium and beyond. This is really a special venue. The book tower for 9 years was under renovation. We dedicated a lot of time, energy and resources to this, not just us as university, but also the competent authorities, and we are very grateful to them. Recently, Book Tower opened again for the public. It's a space where books are kept, where you can consult knowledge, but it also aims to be a meeting place. Everybody's welcome here. Our staff members are welcome here. Everybody is welcome here. You don't need to belong to University of Ghent to come here. It's a unique venue, unique atmosphere, unique viewpoint, and I would really invite everybody to come here. And don't forget to enjoy the viewpoint. Beautiful view on Ghent and its surroundings, but also admire the trimmings and the interior decoration of this viewpoint. It's a feast for your eyes, and we're very proud of it. Yes, I was upstairs a few minutes ago. I can confirm it's really beautiful. The Vice Dean, Ms. van Erwegen, Mika, good afternoon. When you see this, how do you feel? I feel joy. People look really happy. People are really happy to be here again. It's always a joyful moment, but this year there's an added touch. There's energy, there's a positive vibe, there's an echo. I'm sure you can all hear that, so it's clear the academic year will be kicked off. And we also start from an iconic building. It's nice to see all these people in this space, an ideal space to start from, and to support this bubbly atmosphere. Last year was quite different. You as a Vice Dean, how did you experience that? Mixed emotions. On the one hand, the agreement was that I would mainly work from home. Of course, you sometimes have to be on site, but Rick was more present on campus than me. The idea was that we would never be present together on campus. So I saw everybody on screen. But that also meant, and I have to admit it, it also meant more peace and quiet. So it was welcome. No, I had mixed emotions. On the one hand, I missed it, but there was this peace and quiet and inner quiet, which was quite welcome. But all in all, the predominant feeling was that of missing people. We're not built, we're not created to sit behind a screen. Absolutely not. Now everything, or almost everything, is possible again when it comes to lecturing, organization, students. Is everything back to normal? No, not quite. There are a number of limitations, but in the next couple of months we'll see how things evolve and how things will work. But a lot is possible. We all had to show a corona certificate. Those who couldn't show it couldn't attend today, so that's normal. There are certain limitations. They will continue to exist for a while, but the difference is huge vis-a-vis last year. Also internationally, our students can go on Erasmus exchanges again, and they're so happy. Some students even enrolled again simply to go on an Erasmus exchange because they weren't allowed to do so last year. So it's great for this to be possible again. So positive feeling. So how do you feel personally about a day like today, regardless of you being a Vice Dean? Well, it's something I really enjoy. It's being back amongst people, meet people in person. Most of them I saw on screen quite often in the past 1.5 years, but the feeling is quite different. So different to when you meet people in an informal manner. It's a fun moment. All right, that's clear. Thanks, Miss Vice Dean. Thanks, Mr. Dean. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon. It's possible again. It's allowed. And I'm happy to be part of this, so enjoy the afternoon. We'll broadcast now the images I promised you of the university campus, because the parade is getting shape, and once we enter Volderstraat, we'll tune in again. And we'll see how people slowly proceed to the big aula. See you later.
I'm sorry, but the interpreters are not being... Yeah, we're not hearing what's being said. I'm sorry.
We zijn er terug in de lees.
We're back in the reading room of the University Ghent book tower. We had a small technical hiccup a little while ago, but it's solved now. And now we're hearing names being read out. It takes some time, and so I've got some time to talk to somebody who's much taller than I am, the mayor of the city, Mr. Matthias de Klerk. Mr. Mayor, the opening of the academic year in a city such as Ghent, how important is this day for you? Well, it's a very important day for us after this horrible corona period. It's an emotional experience to see all of these students here. They're so happy and they deserve to be here, and I'm happy to have the students back in Ghent. We're in this wonderful tower here. I'm going to repeat it. It's a wonderful building, and it's also a monument. It's the fourth largest tower in Ghent. Yes, it's a tower to science, to knowledge, and it's part of the Ghentian DNA. And Ghent is the largest student city, and we're happy to experience that. So the parade is going to start in a minute. We're going to leave here, and then we're going to go to the auditorium. What does this mean for you? Well, it's all about enjoying myself. I love seeing people out in the street, welcoming the students, and hopefully we'll have the best year ever. You studied at this university as well. Yes, I studied law for 5 years. I'm proud of UGent, and I'm wonderful. I think it's wonderful to see UGent being led in this way. So the university is really booming, and we're really happy with that. I see a proud mayor of a proud city in a proud university. What do you wish the university? What is your motto? What is your wishing card? Well, I wish the university a wonderful academic year, lots of wisdom, and giving a direction to students and to the people. That's their duty. Well, have fun in the parade, and then maybe together with the camera, we're going to move through the room where the parade is getting ready to depart. And you know that the robes have different colors, and this is the faculty. Each faculty has its own color. I see the political sciences faculty is green, that you've got criminology is red, etc., etc., etc. So it's a variation on the former clergy's clothes, its academic clothes. And all of this is defined by law, going back to the origins of the Belgian nation. So it's very official, very well considered, and every year these robe wearers go out to show themselves as professors, as a faculty, as a university to the city. So let's go through the people here. Let's cut through the masses. And maybe it's a little bit impolite for me to move through these crowds here, but let's do it anyway. So good afternoon to you all. And let me move here. Hello, hi. So the names are called. Every professor who is part of the parade gets their name called. And so this leads to a chain of people, important people, but above all, a chain of people who are linked to this university. They're not just professors, they're board members, people also from associated university colleges such as the Artevelde University College. We also have administrative staff walking around. So everybody has this one clear link, which is to the University of Ghent. And here you can see how the parade is forming, going out of the reading room and then to the right. And we're going to follow them outside. In the meantime, you can also see this wonderful reading room, also designed by Henri van der Velde. And I'm standing here. What do we see here? Yes, the name calling. Okay, but let's follow the people outside. You could call it a pride, an academic pride for people who are getting ready to go out into the city, and also the students.
Instituut, dat gaat behoorlijk traag. Dus wij gaan even misschien ietsje...
So the parade is taking its time, and maybe we can go a little bit faster so that we can start overtaking a few people. And above us, to the left and to the right, you can admire the wonderful ceiling, which is the Art Deco ceiling, and you can really go here. It's really worth the trouble. So we're going to go out of the tower, and we'll be back with you in a minute.
Oké, we zijn terug in de stoet zoals u ziet. De stoet trekt.
Okay, we're back. You can see that the parade is going from the Boekentoren to the St. Peter's Nieuwstraat. You can see behind me a lot of robed people, and next to me Mrs. Dominique van Akker. I'm going to interrupt her. You are head of student facilities, right? Yes, and it's no coincidence that we're talking to you, because we will be walking past the Brug, which is restored back to its former glory. Yes, it's even better than before, so the student restaurant is even better than before, and so we want them to experience the cheese croquettes and the spaghetti. They're still on the menu. So a lot has changed. It's much better now, and a lot has changed for students as such. They can rejoin their student life. Yes, I'm really respectful for the students and student associations. They had to reinvent themselves, and I'm happy that they are now able to reorganize these activities so that they can organize activities again. Have you felt this over the last few days, that students want to get together? Yes, absolutely. We see a lot of initiatives. I don't think we've had this many student activities. I almost regret not being a student. Sometimes they also invite outsiders. Oh, great. There's a lot of people waiting for us on the balcony of the Brug restaurant. They're the colleagues here. Maybe we should also see them on screen. There they are. Yes, they're really looking forward to working with the students again. Hello, everybody. I wish you a very pleasant academic year, Mrs. Van Akker. And let's just keep walking, because we want to be here next to the Brug, where there's a new campus for the social and political sciences, which is also my background. I was just talking about my training, Professor Reinhard. You're the dean of the Paul and Sok training. This is going to be the new campus for the political and social sciences. Yes, this is a new building that's being erected for us, and this is only going to help the atmosphere in our department, and it's also a real benefit for our students, because they will get brand new infrastructure and brand new auditoriums, so they're going to really be enjoying this. I remember that we used to be a little bit all over the place, but now it's all together. Yes, we used to have multiple locations spread all over the city, and now we have a single faculty building where all of the departments will be working together. The students will have a single building, and then we also have a brand new faculty library, which is also unique. Before, the library was spread all over the city, and now we have a single faculty, which is great. After more than 30 years of political sciences, we'll be very glad to be in a new building. You're very happy. Yes, it's going to be difficult for me to let go of the old buildings, but I'm sure we'll feel right at home here, and many students will be happy to get here. Maybe just one final question. We have this parade again. The students are back. How does that make you feel? Well, I'm very happy. I'm a teacher because I wanted to be close to my students, not because I wanted to look at students from a computer. So I look forward to the interaction with students and colleagues. And in my case, it also keeps me young. Yes, and it's important to stay young and active, right? Well, now you will have to start running there to catch up with the parade. So, Professor Ed, thank you very much. Thank you. And so this is a new building for the Paul and Sok. So let's go on and let's look at some more footage.
We zijn terug. De stoet.
We're back. The parade is slowly moving to the Vooruit Kunstencentrum. I have here next to me Professor Dr. Tessa Kerre and Professor Dr. Etienne Kerre. We have a father and daughter here. Yes, that's true. That must be quite special for you to be here together with your daughter. Yes, my daughter was born in '72. She's a wonderful daughter. Those were my good years. In the year 70, I obtained my PhD. In 71, I married my current wife. And in 72, my daughter was born. And so now these are my lean years. Okay, so that's clear. What about you? Are these happy years? Tessa? Yes, absolutely. I would not call these lean years. I'm very happy, both in my private life and in my professional life. I have a son who is studying. He's studying his last year mathematics, and so the cycle continues. So I'm very happy, and it's quite special to walk in this parade together with my father, especially with the wonderful weather we're having today. And especially also with this father of mine, who is also quite special. I'm going to let you enjoy the parade, otherwise they will lose us. So I will call you the Professor's Kerre. See you. Have fun today. Thank you. Bye-bye.
We lopen, ik ben een beetje buiten adem. Het valt een beetje tegen als je van het einde van de stoet...
Yeah, it's not easy trying to catch up with the parade. But I wanted to get all the way to the front of the parade because next to the Dean van der Wallen, there is a student, and that's quite exceptional. And I would like to talk to her about this. and look also at the costumes of the official precursors. Hello, I'm coming in here. Hello, Sarah Helsen, that's your name, right? You are here at the front. Why is that? Yeah, we'd have to ask the dean. I am an ordinary student, so ask us. Well, I may ask him in a minute, but what it's like for you. It's very special, very unusual. I never believed that I would be standing here. It's the very first parade ever in my life, so I had no idea what it would be. What are you studying? Well, I graduated in September as a bioengineer, and next year I'm adding an extra year, and I'm now going to do an extra year with subjects from different faculties, because I went very deep into exact sciences, engineering, but I think it's also very interesting to know about social sustainability and to find out more about that. How different is it for you that we can go back to before? Yeah, before we took it for granted, having all these people together, organizing things together, and now, wow, this is great, and we really miss this. So yeah, I'm really happy. I feel much more elated than if I had not been through this period of being alone. Well, I'm going to have to recover a little bit because, my God, this student is very energetic. Sarah, a student next to the dean, and we are walking in the direction of the Volderstraat. We're almost there at the big university with the wonderful peristelium and then the auditorium at the back there. I'm also looking around Minister van Petegem, who did his PhD here, I think. I'm going to surprise him. Hopefully he's not going to be too surprised. Hello, Mr. Minister. You're a tall man next to a short man, so that's always very nice. You wrote your PhD here, right? Yes, I passed through here, my academic career. I studied economics here, government management. So I really am an alumnus. We're supposed to be proud here. Yes, we have to be very proud, and the whole world should know. Okay, so I'm going to be repeating it day out. How special is it for you to be here in this parade? Well, it's quite an honor to be here. I will probably never end up in the first row. I will probably never be a dean here, but it's nice to be a part of this, and it's a tradition. I was really happy to do this as a student, and it's a real honor for me. Okay, let me go back to the Speaker of the Senate, Stephanie Rose. You are also a former student at this university? Yes, I came from West Flanders to here, and of course I stayed behind here. And what did you study? I studied political sciences. I was very young, and I knew I wanted to be a politician. I didn't know then that political sciences didn't really have a very good reputation. No, that's not true, of course, but I wanted to study political sciences because I wanted to be a politician. But I studied communication sciences because I wanted to be working in the media, so we did a good job. I'm going to allow you to enjoy the last few meters of the parade. Enjoy. And let's maybe move forward further up into the parade.
Het volgen nog. Het is toch een.
It's quite a ritual here, and it's quite wonderful here. You see here all of the colors. I don't know all of the colors by heart, but I know that there are 11 different colors on the robes of the professors. And then the typical headdress, which is also typical of this university. But university robes are all different, but the colors, they have been established, and the rules about wearing the robes, they are also clearly defined. So it's a parade, the official parade for the university. And we have here the mayor, and then also Mrs. Christa Bracke, former radio presenter, and she has an honorary PhD of the university, and so she has this light blue ochre colored sash that she's able to wear. As you can see, we're almost in the commercial district of Ghent, and so we're just a stone's throw away from the Aula. So we're almost there.
Ooit ingewijd.
The Aula was once inaugurated by Wilhelm II. That's over 2 centuries ago, and the Aula wasn't built immediately when University of Ghent opened. Well, that's a long story, so feel free to look it up. Beautiful weather, by the way. I accompanied this parade a few times, and the weather is always beautiful, as if the gods of the weather like University of Ghent. Let's move up to the front of the parade, so we'll be able to view those beautiful pillars which are symbolic of the University of Ghent. Pillars that were used for all sorts of things, art, aesthetics. Banners were put on them, resistance, action to claim a Dutch-speaking university, so they're a symbol of many things. The city was closed down for this parade. You see police in front of us, police behind us. And we'll try and broadcast the arrival of this parade. The carriers of the symbols are there.
Voilà, we stappen even mee met het begin van de stoet nog. We gaan hier links, neem ik aan.
We'll turn left, I think. This is the Volderstraat, well known to you. The official address of University of Ghent. I should say UGent, actually. University of Ghent is a bit outdated, doesn't sound that dynamic. And, well, UGent is definitely a dynamic university. Sir, how special, how special is this for you? I enjoy doing so, and so does my colleague. I've been doing this for 22 years, my colleague for 6 or 7 years, and we enjoy doing this. And it's the first time that a lady is the master of ceremony at the university. What are you holding, sir? It's called a stick. I can always show you the records I have of that, but we call it a stick. Yes, 200 years old. Yes, it was on exhibition in Smack. I worked at university for 40 years. I was a secretary at the dean's office, and now I'm master of ceremony. Congratulations. I'll allow you to cross the final meters in all peace and quiet, because we are very close now, a few steps away from this well-known front of university building. There we see it already. That's the official part of the parade from the book tower till here, and then later there will be a speech by the dean. There'll be music, everything that is part and parcel of the opening of an academic year. There you see the lady and a sweet little dog. Quite special, right? Yes, indeed. My husband is present in the parade. He's a professor in distraction, being distracted. Well, congratulations. I never made it that far. Yes. I'm quite happy we were able to attend. But there was not much publicity around it, so there's not many people present here. Well, I can assure you that there were quite a lot of people on the way from the book tower till here. So it wasn't anonymous. Yes, and we will enjoy the vested powers.
Ah, ja zo. De mama van de rector staat blijkbaar ook langs de kant. Te kijken of haar zoon al dan niet...
Yes, the dean's mum is also looking. See if her son is walking properly. So it's quite a special parade. Up the stairs, enter the so-called peristylium. That's the majestuous room with pillars. And then there's a red carpet leading towards the main aula.
Dit hier bijvoorbeeld in beeld zijn vertegenwoordigers van de Artevelde.
These are representatives of the Artevelde University College. They're in some sort of an association with University of Ghent. Yes, and now we're getting ready to start the official part in the big aula, and people from home or can attend from home or from the event village at De Sterre.
Een goede middag iedereen.
Good afternoon, everybody. And it's nice to welcome a full Aula. And welcome to everybody attending through live stream. This is an international occasion. There's simultaneous translation from Dutch into English. And there's also a sign language interpreter present here today. This is the opening of the new academic year, and it feels like before. The academic parade, which started at the recently renovated Book Tower, and now this formal session in the Aula. And I'll first pass the floor to Mieke Herreweghe, Vice Rector, for her opening statement. Thanks, Greet, dear Excellencies, colleagues, students, dear guests. Welcome to the opening of a new academic year. Welcome to the host in our beautiful Aula, an Aula which is filled to the brim, and it's really joyful to see so. Welcome to the colleagues who are attending at the campuses in Bruges, Ostend, Ghent and South Korea, and welcome to all those attending the live stream from home. The special thing today is not only the new academic year, no, it's us, all of us, people, not just in front or behind the screen, but people in flesh and blood, and being able to be here and sharing this moment with you feels wonderful. And I hope we can cling on to this familiar feeling after, so I hope that after this turbulent period, we'll get some quiet and structure in our lives, because we need it. And by the same token, I think that the efforts we made in the past 1.5 years when it comes to digital education, those efforts should not be lost. We'll have to strike a new balance between what is known and what is tested on the one hand, and the innovative on the other hand. How this university lecturing from the future, what it will look like, nobody knows, but I know that it won't be identical for everybody. I also know it won't be something completely new, full of surprises that has to last for another century. No, it will be the result of a continuous adaptation of teaching practices, testing, assessing and amending where necessary. It will be the consequences of steps we already took, both before and during the pandemic, and steps we are currently preparing. The continued cooperation with universities abroad, and especially with our enlightened partners, and investments we'll make in the next years for learning environments on campus and digitally, are key drivers here. We explicitly want university teaching in the future to be diverse. And as university, we'll contribute to a society that embraces this diversity in the broadest sense of the word. And of course, actions speak louder than words. And a nice example of this is the interpreter in Flemish Sign Language, and it's her first. And today is also the week of the hearing impaired, so it's not a coincidence. We want an accessible university. We want citizens who approach the society with an open mind. And last year we also had the EduMasters. This allowed us to train better and more teachers, but also a more diverse group of teachers, because that's also something our society needs. And we also aim for diversity in our broad range of lifelong learning.
With more connection as well, and more international. It pleases me immensely to once again feel our students' hunger. They have a real hunger for an international experience, to be able to welcome international colleagues again, and, believe it or not, to see colleagues leave again to those locations in the world where they need to be in order to make a difference. Ik weet ook al hoe we dit nieuwe
I also know how we'll close this new academic year in the fall of 2022. At University Ghent there will be an institutional review, so an independent accreditation entity will review whether we as a University of Ghent are able to guarantee the quality of our training, and it will be a milestone in our new internal quality system, but I'm quite confident that we'll pass this review as well, and with success. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an academic year I much look forward to. We are looking forward to more than was ever the case. And I wish all of you a very wonderful academic year 2021-2022.
Dank u wel voor deze verwijzing.
Thanks, Vice Rector van Herwegen. People from UGent can get ready for a new academic year, hopefully without many limitations, and many of them will feel relieved. But UGent doesn't go back to the normal from before the pandemic, because we also need to rethink matters, and so that's how UGent wants to open the debate about the changes, the impact of the changes of the pandemic on our society. Next speaker is Nicolas van der Eken, a student facility manager. The last couple of years he proved to be very close both to student activities and student facilities. But here today he will hold a speech, deliver a speech on behalf of the students. Your Excellencies, dear rectors, honorary rectors, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, and dear Rick, dear Mieke, thanks for welcoming me. I'm Nicolas van der Eken. Past 3 years I was the coordinator of student activities, also known as student facility manager. Most people know me as Nico, or as the person who passed on the many corona updates. The people from the green services, the gardening service, sorry, know me as the man with so many questions, impossible to answer. And I'm also happy to see that the students, in spite of all the obstacles, were able to contribute to social and cultural occasions. Organizing activities was impossible, almost impossible, for the past 1.5 years. But I was surprised by the fact that student organizations were able to organize over 1,000 activities to unite people, to avoid isolation, and to make newcomers feel welcome. They had walks through Ghent, digital meetings and online speed dates. And in spite of the challenging circumstances, they tried to make sure that 2021-2022 will be a better year. After 1.5 years and 1.5 meters, finally our associations and our university can go back to normal, even though it was already stressed it won't be the normal we used to know. There are certain differences, and in my capacity I already took note of various requests that were submitted. Ghent has a uniquely diverse student life. There's space for all types of commitment. So there's associations that like to sing in public. There's other groups that like to participate in philosophical discussions, and If you have ideas to launch something, we'll be happy to assist you. UGent is a unique university in Flanders. Students get a lot of support. I mean, student councils and student associations. I can only speak on behalf of the students, and on behalf of them, I thank you. UGent is an example for the democratization of teaching and training. Students are involved at all levels. People listen to them, and I would like to thank the Ghent Student Council, who directed and piloted the students in these challenging times. I'd also like to thank my fellow students, the different various students volunteered in the vaccination center and contributed to the end of the pandemic. And thanks to this input by students and all of these initiatives, we started working together. And by together, I mean UGent staff, hand in hand with students. And in crisis situations, we were ready for each other to lend a helping hand. And I'm convinced that this close cooperation can only be reinforced. A few nice examples of the symbiosis between students and university are the work and study spaces, meaning that for the collective cramming period, students could access public spaces. Of course, these initiatives cannot only be financed voluntarily. We also need budgets. UGent got the message they need to cut costs, but in order to digitalize and automate, we need budgets and confidence and trust to enable this. So investing in infrastructure will yield in the long run. And housing is the most striking example. Housing prices increased by 30% in less than 5 years, and yet we'll be able to provide fewer accommodation than before. UGent has a beautiful heritage, but we need money to expand it and restore it. All good things come to an end, of course. I carried out my term of office for 3 years. This is my final year. There's plenty of challenges we'll tackle together, but I'll pass on the torch to the new generation. And I'll wrap it up. Student involvement at UGent and the beautiful cooperation between professors, students and staff members is something we cherish. Commitment by and for students is unique in Ghent, and you should dare to have faith in students and dare to invest. And I look forward to my final year as a student, my final year as a student facility manager, and I'm happy to carry the title of the Eternal Student. Thank you.
Dankjewel, Nicolas van der Reken en Maak.
Thank you, Nicolas. And make sure your last year is one to remember. Bringing people together is something that happens in the many musical ensembles of the University of Ghent. For many months, the associations had to keep quiet, but now people can make music as a group again. Today, the HUO, the Ghent University Harmonic Orchestra, has sent a small delegation, and you heard them when they came in, some wind instruments and some percussions. And we will be listening to Astor Piazzolla in a minute, who did not write tango music for feet, but for ears. This is his Liber Tango.
Een delegatie van het Gent.
A delegation of the Ghent University Harmony Orchestra and Libertango, Astor Piazzolla's most famous work, with some help from Grace Jones, who based her biggest hit. I've seen that face before on the song. And then I would like to invite the Dean of the University of Ghent for his address and his formal opening of the new academic year. Mr. van der Wallen, you have the floor. Every day again, I experience that there is a lot that I do not know. And it's important for me to say this. That is what I have learned the last year and a half. Universities create and spread knowledge. That is what we do. We make and disseminate knowledge. And we make knowledge, in essence, thanks to our scientific research in all of its forms, ranging from fundamental scientific research to demand-driven or policy-supported research. And the dissemination of knowledge is done via our education to a large extent. Our students bear in them the knowledge that we instill in them, and then they do something with that knowledge and that information. We communicate about our research results with our fellow researchers and our society as a whole. We spread knowledge by talking about it, about this knowledge with each other, our societies, and others. And the importance of knowledge creation and transfer has been demonstrated. And this has become very tangible. We know a lot. And at the same time, we were faced with a lot of uncertainty, with things that we didn't know. And we realized that acknowledging that you don't know something is very important. And the way in which people dealt with knowledge and knowing and not knowing exposed differences in our society. Those who thought that they knew, those who wanted to know, those who said that they always knew in the first place, and those who didn't want to know anything about it, those who didn't want to hear it, and those who didn't know it. Or we who thought that we knew or wanted to know, we said that we had always known, and we who didn't want to hear it, and we who didn't always know. We and they want to know and think. At times we were lost in our thoughts and in our words. Nothing was certain, except for one uncomfortable feeling, which was that of uncertainty. On social media, there's an echo chamber effect. That's what our communication scientists are telling us. So these echo chambers, these bubbles as they are called, they repeat and confirm what we thought and what we believed. We are increasingly faced with things that we don't know. But saying that you don't know something is not a popular stance in these echo chambers, because the alleged knowledge is not improved. We see the same thing happening in journalism and in politics. Every question is answered without any complicated answers, and it needs to be quick and snazzy, not in a minute, but right now. And during the pandemic, I sometimes wondered what will happen when nobody listens? What will happen if we are unable to instill knowledge? What if knowledge is disputed, denied, or disregarded up to absurd levels? What if knowledge is nothing more than an opinion or an ideology? What if science is considered as a new religion? How much knowledge can a deaf man's ears accept? And how much knowledge does science accept? Is the academy nothing more than an echo chamber in addition to many other echo chambers? I refuse to believe that. How much knowledge are we able to accept, and how much lack of knowledge are we able to accept? Every day again, I experience that we do know a lot. We know that a screen alone will never be enough. We know that we all wanted to have contact. We know that ventilation is important. We know that vaccines are the key. We know how climate change works, and we know that knowledge matters. We come from a period when at times safety and precaution was more important than anything else. But this period is now behind us. Okay, we still have to abide by a number of corona measures. And yes, next week in many auditoriums, students will have to wear face masks. But this too is true. We have regained a lot of freedoms compared to what it used to be. What is this down to? Well, down to many people, very many people. And I do not want to minimize anyone's contribution, but I do think that we should all agree that our regained freedom is down to a very large extent scientific research. 1 year after the breakout of the pandemic, us having safe and effective vaccines, well, corona sucked, of course. Let's never forget about this, however. Scientific knowledge mattered and still matters. Every day again, I notice that we know a lot. We know that as an organization, as a University of Ghent, we were very flexible in the last 18 months. The many changes and switches which you all had to implement, the creativity you implemented, the renewed enthusiasm with passion, some passion or no passion, well, that creativity, that dedication deserves our greatest possible appreciation and gratitude. And therefore, also on behalf of the Feinstein, thank you. Thank you for your sustained efforts. Thank you for taking the University of Ghent through this difficult period. And I would maybe like to take this time to do something that deans don't tend to do during these speeches, which is to thank staff of other universities, dear Caroline, dear Luc, Herman and Bernard. The last 18 months we worked together even more closely than before. We shared knowledge and lack of knowledge. We shared frustrations and hope. We also encouraged each other. We took decisions together, obvious ones and less obvious ones. I truly enjoyed that cooperation, and so that is why I say to you and to your members of staff, thank you. Incidentally, we don't need viruses for us to work together across universities. A few months ago, together with the University of Antwerp and the Free University of Brussels, we created the Nova Academy. The Nova Academy will allow the universities of Antwerp, Brussels and Ghent to reinforce lifelong together under the motto, bring learning to life. Because we know that Flanders needs to do more, and because we know that universities should work together. Every day again, I see that there is a lot that we do know. We know that the reputation of a university matters, especially to a university such as ours, which wants to position itself internationally and wants to be among the best in the world. Now, is the Ghent University one of the Ivy League universities? No. Does it have to be one? No. Is there another Belgian or Flemish university that is part of that Ivy League? Again, the answer is no. And yet, we, as the University of Ghent, are an excellent university. And the fact that this is internationally acknowledged is something I greatly appreciated. We have been asked to speak on international fora, and this makes me extremely proud. We play a leading role in a number of international university networks. The University of Ghent is an open and committed university. We can and we want to take part in the world around us. And what is more than in Flanders, we want to be a global player. And this is a clear, explicit choice for internationalization, and this is a good tool for us to carry out our key duties of research, education, and social integration. And in this respect, we are building the ENLIGHT network, and ENLIGHT stands for European University Network to promote quality of life, sustainability, and global engagement through higher education transformation. So it's a cooperation of 9 European universities, including the University of Ghent. And it's one of the consortiums which was selected by the European Commission in the so-called European Universities Program, which allows us to focus on research and teaching. Our leading role in the ENLIGHT network, together with the presidency of the CESAR network, which includes 53 universities, and it's considered to be one of the key stakeholder organizations. And so our leading role in ENLIGHT and our presidency of the CESAR network means that our university is one of the top universities in Europe. That is a position that we need to foster and that we need to reinforce. It's a position that we want to capitalize on in the coming period. Last year, the trainings provided in the global campus in South Korea were greatly appreciated by the Dutch Flemish Accreditation Organization, which measures the quality of university education in Flanders and the Netherlands. Now, this extremely positive evaluation should be an encouragement for our GOGC activities, which includes excellent scientific research. So let's consider this a drive to reinforce those activities. We don't speak enough about our activities in South Korea, even though other universities are envious of those activities. And so I have decided to talk more about this in the coming years, and I hope that you will do this as well. I feel that we do not really realize the benefits provided by the Ghent University Global Campus. I don't want to be pretentious, but facts matter. And we are the only Belgian university to have this bonus. And I'm sure that other universities would talk more about this if it was not us, but them who had this benefit. And here it says in my notes, wink to my fellow deans from other universities present here. But there was only one of them looking in my direction, so that doesn't really work. dear fellow members of the Ghent University, talk about our activities in South Korea, please. The future of universities is not determined by deans and policymakers alone. Of course, you also write the next chapters in our future. So, people of Ghent, be ambitious, dare to believe that you can do it. We are a university that is locally, nationally, and internationally present on the stage. Every day, again, I experience that we know a lot. And this is the 4th time I said it. We know that universities are not football teams. And we know that university rankings should be considered with a critical eye. But we also know that we are internationally renowned. Our reputation for education and research has grown even stronger than it was before, and we should be proud of it. And so let's mention it here clearly and unequivocally for all to hear. And I'm not just saying this because the Times Higher Education rating said it. We're saying this because it is a fact. Let's go further down the path that we have selected and let us focus even more on recruiting the best talent globally in those domains where we excel. And let's be brave enough to actively recruit talent in all education and research domains abroad and within Belgium. So focus on cooperation across borders. In the next 2 years, talent-focused recruitment will be a priority, and we want to boost the reputation and image of UGent as an excellent university must be reinforced. All of this with the goal of achieving our joint goals of research and services to our society, our joint ambitions. They are the ambitions of the University of Ghent as an institution, the ambitions of the entities that are a part of that, faculties, research departments, teams, units, sections, and above all, the ambitions of all UGent staff. We want to bring your ambitions into reality. I know that the following statement is maybe a little bit controversial, but I'm going to say it anyway. Travel. Travel and travel a lot. For me, international mobility and travel is the key of what we should do. As a young researcher, being on the same stage as well-known experts, seeing them work, getting questions from them after a presentation, getting a pat on the back while waiting in line for coffee and cakes. Do we really think that we can replace this by doing this online via Teams or Zoom? I don't think so. And physical boundaries may be very relative in this online society when it comes to research and education. Real encounters provide real benefits, if for no other reason than to get away from our own study context and to establish truly strong bonds with students and colleagues who have a different background from ours. Of course, I know that conference talks and coffee and cake tables, sometimes, you know, they don't do, they're not very factual. When did you arrive and when are you leaving? Those may be the most common questions at the coffee and cake tables, and I recognize that, but I would like to say, et alors, so what? let's not underestimate the value of travel because of the trivial, obligatory, empty statements. Of course, the value of travel is something else. The value of travel is in the importance of learning and discovery. Learning from people and about people, their context, their culture, their way of thinking, their knowledge, their lack of knowledge, their being different. And as far as I'm concerned, there is no Teams or Zoom session that can be better. Every day, again, I experience the privilege of being somebody who works for the Ghent University. We will be opening the new academic year in a minute. It's a new start. Last weekend, I was present during a number of official graduation ceremonies, and there people talked about the end of a journey, which is also the start of a new journey. And I was also able to speak there and talk to the people present. I'm not going to repeat what I said there, save for one element, because I really believe it is important, and because I think that that element as well should be highlighted more often, also by us, clearly and unequivocally, for everybody to hear. Sometimes people ask me, the Ghent University, who or what is that? UGent, who or what is it? Well, the answer is simple. The Ghent University, that is everybody of UGent, all of our students, all of our members of staff, and all of our alumni. That is what we are, that is who we are. They, and you as well, have shaped our university into what it is today, a university we should all be proud of. That is us. Let us continue to shape the future of the University of Ghent. It's not just our duty to do this, it's also a privilege. Be proud of UGent. Talk about UGent. Continue to support the values of UGent and do so proactively. The University of Ghent is a pluralist and engaged university which is open to all. Open to all, regardless of the philosophy of life or religion, regardless of political, social or cultural backgrounds. The University of Ghent is a University of Ghent that matters. We as people of Ghent want to matter locally, nationally and internationally. We want to have an impact, and we have an impact. And we are a university which always focuses on scientific research, where searching is a duty more so than finding, where facts, knowledge, knowing and not knowing are all important. It is a privilege to be a UGentian, and it's an even greater privilege to be your Dean or Vice Dean. It was an honor to talk to you, and I would like to thank you for your attention here and for your presence. So thank you again. Thank you.
Het enige wat mij nu nog rest.
Thanks. The only thing that remains for me to do is to officially open the academic year 2021-2022, and may it be a year filled with freedom for all of you. And I wish this for you and to the University of Ghent. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been present here in many occasions, and I don't think there was a moment where I enjoyed being here more than today. So thank you all for joining us, be it in person or online, and we'll turn this into a wonderful year.
Hartelijk dank voor uw inspirerende woorden, rector.
Thank you, Rector van der Wallen, for your inspiring words, and that opens the academic year officially. And I would like to ask you to rise for the 3 hymns.
Dank u wel. En zo eindigt.
Thank you, and that also marks the end of this academic session. And I would like to invite you, for the drink at Campus Sterre. Those who registered will find a bus outside of the aula, and there's also a shuttle service back from Campus Sterre to Campus UFO during the hours of the drink. I would like to wish you lots of success during this academic year and enjoy the evening.
Tevreden over?
Ik ben...
Are you happy about the day? I'm very happy about this session. It was a mix of joyfulness, happiness, especially while we were walking down here in the parade, and then you enter here in this almost sacred building. Everybody turns quiet, and I think people really listen to what was said. It's a huge privilege for me to do this. I was quite emotional, which is okay. It's okay to show emotions. So yes, I'm happy. Miss Vice Rector, you were looking forward to this, and it was a success. Absolutely, we were looking forward to it. We managed to do it, and this marks the beginning of a new period, a new 4-year term of office, and that's also part of the emotions here. It was a very special moment, very pleasant. All work, no play makes Jack a dull boy. So from here we'll move to Campus Sterre. Other people will join us there. So I will also allow you to open the drink at Campus Sterre. I hereby declare that the drink at Campus Sterre is officially opened, as is the academic year. So let's move on to a happy start. The academic year has officially been open for everybody here, for me as well, and I hope you all enjoyed it. And I wish all of you a fantastic academic year.